What's up, everyone? Adrian Morrison here. I want to welcome you to the Profit Power Hour. I'm excited to have you here. Listen, this is a training I do every week for you, for your benefit, just simply to help you have success and attain your goals, achieve your goals on your journey through e-commerce. That's what this is all about. Now, we do teach affiliate marketing from time to time, and we'll be teaching a little bit about affiliate marketing too next week. But I'm going to go ahead and get my webcam on. We'll talk about what we're doing tonight. There I am. Okay, so everyone should be able to see me now. You should be able to hear me. If you're on here last week, you're probably wondering how all of my examinations went because I had messed up my arm in the gym and I had an MRI. And it turns out I have a partially torn UCL. I think it's right there. Tricep tendonitis and bicep tendinopathy or whatever, which is a strain of the bicep. So uh, essentially, come on, find my face. There you go. There I go. Yeah, boy is all screwed up right now. So I'm going crazy. I haven't been in the gym really in 3 weeks, like really doing lifting. I'm go there and I don't really know what to do. So I'm in physical therapy and don't need surgery as far as I know, and just going to work, work my way out of this. They say, 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks will be the time limit. So let's see how that goes. All right. And thank you for everybody that's been concerned. It's could have been worse, but let's talk about money. Let's talk about business. Let's talk about e-commerce. Let's talk about affiliate marketing. And what I love about this webinar series is it really allows me to escape reality sometimes, meaning like all I can really think about is I've been busting my butt for 2 years in the gym and I'm like losing all of my gains. I feel like I'm like deflating because I can't work out. I'm going crazy. And this takes my mind off of it. So this week you got emails from Saturday to tonight about a free funnel that I built for affiliate marketing. And if you're new to this webinar series, the last couple of weeks we talked a lot about this side hustle that's an affiliate deal that can earn people thousands of dollars without selling anything and without buying anything. So it's like a free opportunity. And we've already had various students set themselves up to make a lot of commissions. One of them set up to make $55,000 in commissions in his first 2 weeks. This is something that I want to teach y'all more about and to take advantage of, because you don't have to buy anything and you don't have to sell anything, and you get to help small businesses acquire money that is potentially earmarked for them by the government. It's called the Employee Retention Credit Program, and help them get some essentially free money. We say free money, but it's money that they're due for retaining employees during a very, very tough time, right, to retain employees. And so it's really money due to them, in my opinion, for those that stuck through. So if you see me waving around again, something about Florida. I don't have this problem in Mississippi, but Florida, this house, a brand new house, gnats everywhere. Like every time I try to do anything on camera, a gnat magically appears. And so the whole time I'm talking, I'm trying not to like inhale a gnat. If I do that, I might turn the camera off and like die or something because I'm a germaphobe. But anyways, we mailed about teaching you about that and building a free funnel. That's something I partnered with my brother on, and he wasn't available today. He got stuck in a bunch of meetings and pushed back, and it's something that we really want to present together. And it is a free funnel that we built for you and a free auto webinar. Now, if you don't know what an auto webinar is, don't worry. It's an automated presentation that you can share with people to help you earn commissions. It's all done for you. It will email them, it will text message them, it will follow up with them, and it's really incredible. So we're going to release that next week, okay? So next week we're going to release that, and this week I'm really going to piggyback off of what we talked about last week. But before we get started, the welcome screen here at the tippy top, if you do not have a Shopify store yet and you're on this webinar, why are you on this webinar? Because we always teach e-commerce. The affiliate stuff is a side hustle, a huge opportunity, but it's not the long game. So go to profitph.com/Shopify and sign up for your Shopify store. Just sign up for a free trial. You have nothing to lose. You don't even have to put in a credit card. Just get your store, get started, okay? Because last week I showed you an amazing way to find hot products and viral products. And this week I'm going to continue. I'm going to show you the best way to have a site set up, the best way to have, the best products to be selling on your store, and getting you really prepared for this wave of sales that's going to hit the e-commerce sphere for Q4 in the holiday season. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about what I mailed about all week, which is the side hustle affiliate deal that you all can partake in, where Anthony and I have created assets for you, tools for you that you can use to earn commissions. So it's like a good side hustle. All right, so this is our welcome screen. Now go ahead and tell everybody to pop in the webinar right now, because we're getting started. I'm going to give you all a free training tonight, like always. This is always free training. And this is why so many of my students that sign up for Shopify stick with Shopify, because I teach you every week how to move forward, how to take that next step, how to grow, how to scale, how to generate your first sale even, right? How to set up and list your first product, how to create Facebook marketing and get traffic. These are all the things that we do. So last week, what I did is I showed everybody a really cool strategy that I've been using for probably a decade. I used this strategy even before I did e-commerce. I was using it in my affiliate marketing days. So this strategy involved watching television for work. Now, I know that sounds crazy, right? Watching TV for work sounds like a pretty insane concept. But as I pull up our notes from last week, we talked about how we can set ourselves up to crush it in Q4. That's what's on this white pad here. And our timeline from August, right? That's now, which is coming out with promo ideas and product ideas that we think we could potentially profit from. And September is execution time, so we're very close to setting everything up. And then October, December is just time to get sales. Like that's the time where you're focusing on traffic and sales. And we talked about what are the best types of products to sell. Well, the best types of products to sell are ones that are a solution to a problem. Okay, so if you have a solution to a problem that's a very wide and common problem, then you probably got a very easy product to get people interested in and generate sales with. Okay, so you find a big problem, you find a product that solves it, and then you create a solution or find a solution, and you can generate sales. So we discussed last week, and y'all can go watch the replay. What makes people tick, all right, and what makes them buy something, all right? Well, something obviously that solves a problem, because we all have problems that we won't solve. Something that's unique and simple, so it's not too complex. Like I don't got to study about it. I don't got to do a bunch of reviews to see if it's going to be worth the money I spend on it. It's unique, it's simple, it makes sense, and I just want it, and I want it now because there's a shock factor in place that makes me impulse purchase. And if you're looking for examples of products that solve problems that are unique, but very simple for, the mind to comprehend the value of. And they're also kind of shocking, kind of cool. You're like, whoa, that is awesome. That solves a problem I didn't even know I had, right? I didn't even know there was a solution for that. So I never thought about that. That creates impulse purchase. Well, if you're looking for examples, watch TV. All right. All those as seen on TV commercials that are just corny and cheesy and, just they just look gimmicky. They work. They've been working for over a decade, right? They've been working for 20 plus years or longer, right? They're on TV because people are buying the heck out of them. And also, if something is trending right now, it's probably because it's all over television. People watch TV a lot at night, right? And then they go online and they search for the products that they see on TV. So we use Google Trends to see if products are trending right now. So the television is essentially advertising a lot of products and sending the traffic to the internet to buy those products. At the end of the infomercial, it says call this phone number or go to www.com, shamwow.com, whatever. So a lot of people go online, all right? So we went over looking at all of these different products, like the As Seen on TV website, all right? So this is asseenontv.com's website. And if we look at all of these products here, it's products that solve problems. Personal space heaters, right? So these save money. That solves a problem. Everybody wants to save money. All right, window cleaner. People want to look out clean windows. Power pod. It makes sure that whenever you're on the go and your battery dies, you got some extra juice, right? The peel 3 hard-boiled eggs in seconds. Peeling hard-boiled eggs sucks. So this will do it in a couple of seconds. What does this do? It saves time, right? You've got the indestructible belt that's the perfect fit. You've got the pillow pad. You've got all of these all of these are problem solvers. And that is why they work so well. And going over to Google Trends, if we start looking at some of these items on Google Trends and typing them in, we get a really good idea of, if it's working right now. So like this smart cupping massager. All right, so this is a product that you can see little spikes in. So you can see if this is being advertised online. The Lizard Cam, which is another product that we reviewed last week, we could see that over the last 12 months, we are getting tons and tons of searches as the television campaign spikes. So every one of these spikes is due to TV commercials, right? Because what we're doing is right now we are looking at the trends of all of the different products here that we're seeing on television, like the Lizard Cam. And these are the TV campaign trends, most likely. So we want to take advantage of these spikes, and we want to take advantage of these sales, okay? So that's what we went over last week. If you did not see last week's replay, just go to your Profit Power Hour members area. All right, click on replays. So you go to webinar replays 2020. Boom, there you go. Voila. All right. And I'll walk you through that whole training. All right. Now, what I really want to do is I want to cover a couple of questions that people have asked me in the last week. And we have a lot of new members to the Profit Power Hour every week. So again, if you're a new member, I want to welcome you. I'm so happy to have you here. All right. And I want to answer a lot of your questions. So noobs that come in, a newbie, someone that is new, come in and they start to worry about what does their Shopify store look like. All right. Their biggest concern is, what does my store look like? How pretty is it? All right. So how to maximize a Shopify store. Now, This is probably going to go against the grain of what you thought. All right, so a Shopify store design that converts. All right. So everybody is asking me, Adrian, what does my store need to look like to get conversions? And a lot of people immediately say, okay, well, it has to be fancy. All right. So if I want a store to convert, it needs to be fancy. That store needs to be pretty. All right. So it's got to be a beautiful store. All right. It might even need to look super professional. All right. And then a lot of people also think that a website needs to look luxurious. All right. So people think that it needs to look luxurious. And this is actually true if, I just want to say, this is only true if you're selling something that nobody really needs or wants. Now, let's highlight key terms here. All right. Needs and wants. You want something that solves a problem, right? You need something that solves a problem. So if you're selling something that nobody really wants or needs, then you're selling. All right. That's another key term here that I'm going to highlight in orange. You're selling something. Now, when you sell something, you have to convince someone that doesn't already want it or need it or desire it to buy it. All right. So our goal is not to sell. Our goal is not to be a salesperson. Our goal is not to have a website that we have to sell people on buying from, right? We want to be marketers. And marketing is different than selling. Marketing means you're putting something in front of someone's face that already wants or needs it, right? That's why you market. So that's why I always say I market things. I don't say I sell things online. I say I'm an online marketer, not an online salesperson, right? Someone that goes door to door and sells insurance or gutter cleaning or grass cutting services, they're selling you something, right? They are knocking on the door and they are salespeople trying to sell you on their service. Now, a marketer is someone who knows what you want, knows what you need, and just puts it in front of your face. Now, sure, you might say, Adrian, of course, there are tons of people that need their gutters cleaned, tons of people that need their grass cut. And that's true. That is a service that a lot of people won't need. But when you're knocking door to door, you're trying to sell it to people who may not want it and may not need it. Does that make sense? So you're always selling. Online, you're able to market to the right group of people. So we don't want a fancy site, all right? We don't want to have to build a Shopify store that is fancy. So a fancy store would have our logo up here. It might have some like, you know, really cool design that comes down here, and it's going to have like, you know, a picture that comes out of here, and it's going to have all this info here, and it might have a video down here, and then it's going to have like all of this info right here, and it's just going to have all this stuff, you know. It's going to be a pretty design. All right, so let's just say that it's a website selling things in the cosmetic space. All right, you might have part of the website, I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. You might try to have like this pink design going about the website on this side, and then over here on this side it's a different color, right? So what we start looking at when we're talking about doing pretty, you know, this is a really ugly example of a pretty website. Okay, pretty websites use fancy looks and luxurious branding to try to sell you, right, on the sell you on thinking that you need it, right? That you need this brand, it's highest quality, it's the yada yada yada. It's been as seen on all of this on whatever, right? You really try to make it fancy and look good because you're trying to sell people on that it's ultra high quality, that it's something that is really cool and really nice to have, and that it's going to enhance their life if they have it. And that's why the website is pretty, because it feels good to buy something that you don't really need from a website that looks really nice. The problem is this is going to cost you, it's going to cost a lot of money for a really pretty design. It's going to cost a lot of time for a pretty design, and it may not work. Oh my God. You mean that you might spend a bunch of time with the designer picking out the perfect shade of pink and the perfect logo and the perfect layout of your site, and then market it, and you got this beautiful site and it's so epic, and then no sales. You're screwed. Now what? Now, not only does it cost you money, not only does it cost you time, not only does it not work, let's just insert the word, it is also wasted time. It's also wasted money, right? And now you have to start over. All right. This is also an issue with niche websites, websites that sell one single type of product that go all in. All right. So what this does is it creates this evil, I call it this evil loop of trial and error. All right, so we're going to call this the evil loop of trial and error. And this loop is going to cost you time, money, stress, and probably some hair. Okay, so these are all the things that you're sacrificing, all right, in the evil loop of trial and error, because you like build this this Shopify store, choose this domain name, go all in, think you have this beautiful website, you're trying to sell crap people don't want, and then you realize it doesn't work. How many times are you going to be able to do that and sustain sanity and motivation, right? And belief that it's going to work? 1, 2, 3, 5, 10? Probably not very many. At that point, your spouse is going to be like, yo, this is enough. You done wasted too much money in that evil loop of trial and error. Go back to your regular job. This was a great idea, but you done lost all our savings, right? Building websites that never generate a sale. And every time you do this, right, you have time and money wasted. Stress and hair, whatever, okay? Get a hair implant, all right? Take some medicine that relieves the stress, but the time and the money you ain't getting back, right? So the way that I have always profited by avoiding the loss of time and avoiding the loss of a lot of money, you're still going to lose money testing products that don't work. You ain't getting away from that, okay? But the way that I avoid the bulk of lost time, the bulk of lost money, and the bulk of stress and the bulk of hair loss, all the way, I got some grays popping in, is I don't build a fancy site. I don't make it pretty. I don't make it professional looking. I don't make it luxurious. And I just fricking sell crap that people want. That's it. I sell stuff that people want. Listen, if you are following me on Instagram, I want you to go to my Instagram page. It's at Adrian Morrison, okay? So go to my Instagram page, and I want you to look at this video that says this one marketing rule made me over $7 million. And it's actually made me significantly more than that. But I want you to watch this video here, okay? It's going to give you the one thing that you always need to have embedded in your brain. It's going to give you the trick. It's going to give you the secret that I've always used. Now, I'm going to save you a bunch of time and energy and money because I teach you how to make ugly websites. And when I say ugly, I mean they damn ugly, all right? These websites that I create for Shopify are ugly. And everybody says, oh my gosh, I gotta have this beautiful site and I want this website that looks like it's $1 million website. Who gives a damn if it looks like $1 million website if it's losing money? Does that make sense? So this is one of the biggest questions and issues that people run into that I teach is they fail to launch because they always get dissatisfied with that which does not matter. And that is the look and the feel and the design, because you're not going to sell stuff that people don't want or need. When you are selling things that people want and need, like those as seen on TV products with the cheesy, ugly, awful, just cringy commercials, they're making millions of dollars. Millions. And their commercial don't look half as nice as these big brand commercials that you see. Okay? So how do you get a website that converts? How do you get a Shopify store that converts? A couple of things here, okay? Here is the truth, all right? Here is the truth slash secret to winning. Okay? The truth slash secret to winning and having a store that converts. All right? Stupid Siri. All right. So, number one is make your site ugly. Yep. I know that sounds crazy. Make it ugly. I'm not saying intentionally just make it look awful. I'm just saying get to frickin' market, okay? Don't waste 4 or 5, 6 weeks choosing a stupid shade of blue. All right. Or saying, I really like the logo, but if you could just change this right, nobody cares what your logo looks like. They care about the product that they're buying. You're drop shipping. You ain't building your own brand, right? Selling a unique item. You're drop shipping. You're drop shipping a bunch of stuff that people randomly want an impulse purchase. Now, if you want to build like a super unique hot brand that you want to turn into $1 billion company, it ain't going to be done with drop shipping. Okay. This is a way to create sales, generate money, right? Build a real business without all of that risk and effort, right? So having an ugly website is okay, so long as you are solving a problem. All right, so solves problems. All right. And another thing, all right, that you want to have on an ugly website is reviews. I promise you this, all right? People care more about reviews than your logo or your website design or what color your add to cart button is or how fancy the copy is and on the sales page. They want to see it solve a problem, and they want to see, potentially product demos. All right. So like a video of the product being used would be beneficial. Reviews, product demos, something that solves problems, right? Um, and then also products that are novelty products and grab attention through shock factor. All right. Everything I said last week. All right. If you do all of these things, you don't need to have this beautiful website over here. Okay. You don't. If you do all of these things, then when you build your Shopify store, okay, you can build a store that's ugly as hell. And I mean ugly. When you build a Shopify store, you ain't choosing your partner for life. You know what I'm saying? It can be changed. You can upgrade it. You can modify it in the future. The most important thing that you need to understand, all right, so this is, I would say, important, is get launched and get to market fast. So you want to get launched and you want to get to market fast. All right. So you want to do it blazing fast. Does that make sense? Because until you get your store launched and until you get to market, until you get products on your store and you start marketing those products, you ain't going to make a dime. You're just going to sit around playing web designer. I'm sorry, but I'm sick of teaching people how to design websites. We're not web designers, we're marketers. All right, get the store launched, upgrade it later. Okay, so on our store, we're still going to have a logo. Okay, and we're going to have a menu. And I actually now refer to this as a stop. I actually refer to this now as a niche menu. All right. So you've got your logo up here. Great, beautiful. Who cares? Maybe just make it ugly on purpose and watch what happens. I guarantee it won't matter. Okay. Then you got your niche menu. Okay. So the niche menu is essentially going to say, think of Walmart, Amazon, whatever. It's going to be different niches. Okay. Because you're going to be selling a lot of stuff. And then all you have to do is just have products. just like this. Product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4, product 5, product 6. Let me show you an example, okay, of solving what solving a problem can do. All right. So I was doing a little bit of research for this webinar, and I was looking at uh, products. Where are they at? Okay. So like boosted boards. All right. One could argue that an auto electric board can solve a problem because it saves gas and all that stuff. But we're still at a point in time where this is a luxury. It's a luxury to own one of these things. They're very expensive, okay? And you're not going to have a lot of dudes on suits riding these to work in 5 o'clock traffic. Now, when I first met Harley Finkelstein, the president of Shopify, at the time he was the COO, Chief Operating Officer, he was like, what I like about my life is I wake up in the morning, I grab my boosted board, and I ride to the Shopify offices, and I know that I'm riding a board from a merchant that sells on Shopify. He takes pride in the merchants that brand on Shopify. And I was like, that's so freaking cool. This dude freaking rides a electric board to Shopify that he bought from a Shopify merchant. This dude is a freaking legend. And that's awesome. But let's take a look at all the effort that they put in. First off, they manufacture and do their own boards. They do their own branding. They're a huge company now. They sell boards for like $1,500 to $2,000. Look at their website. Their website is really nice. It's got these big detailed graphics. It's got video, like these crazy video promotions of the boards. Look at this. They got freaking drones. They're out on the side of the mountains. They're in Canada probably. I think it's a Canadian company. And they're just going through trail. Like, this is a lot of efforts. A lot of efforts. Look at this high def photo of the board. It's crazy. Okay. So when I go to buy a boosted board, and I own one, as soon as Harley told me he drove these to work, I was like, or rode them to work, I was like, yo, I got to have one of these. And they're sick. Kind of dangerous if you're not good. But um, so these products here are really expensive. They're like 2,400 bucks. And they don't really solve a problem currently. That could be argued, but it's more of a luxury. Okay. Some people's cars are only like 6,000 to 8,000 bucks. This is a board that's 2,000, 2,500 bucks. Not hating, I got one and it's epic. Okay. But they're having to put a lot of effort into selling you something that you really don't need. And you may not totally want. They got to sell you on why you want this, why you might need this, why you might enjoy this, how bad and awesome it is, right? Okay. Now, I want to introduce you to my friend Josh Snow's company, Snow Teeth Whitening, $100 million company. Okay. Now, his website has really changed over the years. He has split tested a lot of stuff. All right, but when you go to his store and you look at the products that he's selling, he doesn't have to have like these crazy sales pages for stuff. So let's do where's his teeth whitening kit? He might have a bit of a teeth whitening kit. There we go. All right. So he might have a little bit of an explainer about how it works because it's a contraption. But for the most part, I want you to look at what his site looks like, okay? It's a basic information on what you get, a big add to cart button, He does have nice photos, okay? But I think that we could all agree that my buddy Josh didn't get a drone to record this footage. He didn't record a full-fledged commercial about this just to put on his website to convince you that you need it because it solves a problem. Ain't nobody want yellow teeth. Everybody wants to smile with white teeth, okay? So because he's not having to sell you on why you need to whiten your teeth or why you might could benefit from it, um, you know, he doesn't have to put, look at this. This is like, this is a product photo. It looks like he took it with his iPhone, okay? He has some celebrity endorsements now because his company got huge, right? But it's just basic. Like these are basic photos. I mean, you get photos just this good off of AliExpress for the products that you're selling. And then what does he have? He's got reviews, results, right? Because what sells more than a pretty design is results and reviews. So the bulk of his sales page is showing you the reviews that he has and what you get in the little kit, right? And if you start looking at a lot of the stores, like the As Seen on TV stores and stuff, I mean, like there's nothing totally fancy. Look how grainy this is. But again, what are they focusing on? They're focusing on showing you how the product works. And that is a god awful image right there that they're using. It's like so grainy you can't see it at the bottom right. But it's nothing special. But it doesn't have to be because this is solving a major problem. If you're driving in the rain and your windshield, you can't see out of it because your windshield wipers suck, right? This is something that's going to be super beneficial to you. It's going to give you vision in a dangerous situation. So when we talk about, you know, a website that converts, all right, there are two different things that you have to consider here. You have to consider number one, what are you selling online? All right, are you selling something or are you marketing something? That's the key. Are you trying to build a beautiful brand like Boosted Board and try to introduce something that is new to people, that's not common, something that they may not be desiring right now and sell them on why it's worth, you know, a lot of extra money? Or are you just trying to sell them stuff that they already want, that they already need? Does that make sense? Got it. A little fly. All right, so if you're trying to sell something unique that you designed, that you created, that's not normal, you're going to want a pretty site because you're going to have to sell people on the dream. But if you're selling the stuff that we sell, you need a ugly get started website with products listed on it, basic sales pages. You want to import reviews, which you could do from AliExpress. You want to use demonstrational photos or videos, which CJ Dropshipping, all these companies will give you. Now, the products that you are selling on the store, all right, so the products that we're selling will be, there's another one that just flew in my ear. Solutions, novelty items like gadgets and stuff do really well because these introduce a bit of that, you know, shock slash impulse purchasing. And then you're going to have the basics, which is just there. People are just going to buy it. Basics would be, you know, print on demand, such as mugs, shirts. And there are ways to make these print on demand items novelty. All right, we can make this stuff novelty items, which will enhance the potential of conversion, right? But these product types that we have are typically going to be, remember, All right, solutions, novelty slash gadgets, and basics. That's it. And when you have a store like this, instead of a store like this, you are not entering this evil loop of trial and error where you build a site, it doesn't work, build another one, doesn't work, close down your whole Shopify store, start a new Shopify store, buy another domain name, get another design, get another logo, set up another email list. Because with this is a machine, okay? And this machine is designed to market. All right, market what people want. It's also designed to convert. And how do we convert people? Well, we convert people with things such as email, all right, discounts, gamification. That's gamifying the shopping by giving people points, giving them, letting them spin the wheel, right? Basically, there are various Shopify apps. Many of you have my apps, right? That will help convert people. We do this with upsells, okay? All of these things are contributors to all of these things here are contributors to an increase in sales. That's what these things do. All right, email marketing increases our sales. All of these things increase our sales. So up here, when you have the ugly website that's selling the products that the people already want, that the people already need, okay? You don't have to waste a bunch of time creating a beautiful website. Where you're gonna put your time and your energy is gonna be getting traffic, finding the right products, watch TV, okay? And optimizing traffic, product selection, and optimization. Does that make sense? Now, when we talk about traffic, optimization, and products, it becomes revenue potential producing activities. All right. Would you agree that every single product that you find could be a revenue producing product? It doesn't mean it's going to be, but it could be. Like if you invest your time in discovering a new product, could that product be a direct moneymaker? Yes or no? Yes. Now, is one design versus another design of your website gonna make you directly make you money if you don't have a good product? No, it's not. So if you're wasting your time designing a pretty website, that is a non-revenue producing activity. If you want to be a website designer, go do graphic design as your business and be a freelancer, okay? If you want to be a marketer, find products that sell, screw the design, right? So does, excuse me, does email marketing directly produce traffic and sales? Yes. Does choosing a logo for your business directly produce traffic and sales? No. So all of these things up here are what I call non-revenue producing activities, are directly revenue producing activities. So you only got so much time in a day. You have to start thinking about, what am I doing with my time? Is this a revenue producing activity? Or is this a non-revenue producing activity because I'm OCD or my hobby is making stuff look pretty? Is it for you or is it for your bank account? Maybe ask yourself that question. Is it for you or is it for your bank account? If it's making your logo pretty, that's for you. It ain't for your bank account, right? It's making a pretty website. That's for you. It ain't for your bank account. It's actually it's going to hurt your bank account because the designer's going to charge you a boatload of money to make it super pretty, right? So you have to start looking at things as, do they earn or do they cost? All right. And so all of the things that we have discussed tonight, as we kind of move into, this season where sales potential, it just, is accelerated rapidly. The potential, you got to start focusing on products and marketing and optimization. Products directly can make you money, right? Marketing can directly make you money. Optimization can directly make you money when you put an upsell or an app on there that gets people's emails to spin a wheel and gives them a discount. All of these things are revenue producing activities. What types of products are you selling? Are you just selling, stuff that nobody wants because you think it's cool? Nobody cares what you think is cool, right? Nobody cares what you think looks good. It's irrelevant. No one knows who you are, right? You're selling to everybody else out there. What do the people want? And the people want things that solve problems and things that make them happy. Novelty products make you laugh. They, are a cool way to spend some of your time. Novelty products are a cool gift for somebody, that could be an inside joke or whatever. So we're selling solutions, novelty items and gadgets with a little bit of shock and impulse factor, and then the basics. Because while they're there, may as well throw some of that in the cart. But we can also make those basics novelty items by personalizing them and putting cool slogans on them, so on and so forth. So this model up here at the top is the flawed model. That's the model where barely any of them make it. Some of them make it, but barely any of them make it. The model down here at the bottom is the model where there's more potential. And here's the other thing is, you don't have to rebuild. All right, so this you would have to rebuild each time it fails. That's this. And that cost money. Hello. All right. This one down here is build once. Okay. This one is build once. Why? Why do you only have to build this one once? You only build this one once because it is an ugly, basic looking website. There is no real brand to it, and you just sell whatever the heck is working. One day you're selling rings. The next day you're selling iPhone 13 or 14 cases because iPhone 14 is about to come out. Or you're selling yoga pants with dogs on them. Or you're selling the weird gadget that's viral right now. Okay, you can sell and replace as many things. It is a jumbo store, a flexible store, a general store. So it's not beautiful, but it's flexible. And it allows you to put all these different things on it, all these different niches on it, and scale bigger, sell more stuff. Where this, you're going all in, and if you go all in, I hope that you really believe that thing's gonna work. I was watching Shark Tank last night, and these guys invented a makeup for men that's supposed to be discreet. Forget what it was called. They actually got a deal. But man, they had a really tough time selling the sharks on why they should invest in their company. And they revealed that their company was losing $40,000 to $50,000 a month. They were getting sales. They were doing $100,000, $150,000 a month, but they were losing like $40,000 a month. How is that any good? They're going all in. They're trying to make that company like something way, 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 way bigger, 5 years down the road or 3 years down the road. So they're willing to take that loss. Most drop shippers ain't willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. I don't care to do that. I just want to sell stuff people want. I ain't trying to lose money every month with the hopes of it finally winning down the road and borrowing money from and people and raising money that I'm not sure I can return to people. I'm in the business of making money. I'm in the business of selling stuff that's easy to sell because I don't have to sell it. People want it. I'm in the business of building once and not building 50 times. I'm in the business of flexibility, so I have more time and I have more potential, right? So that is why last week when we went over this plan of, what makes people tick, what are people buying, watch what's on television, what is hot right now, because most of that stuff you could find on AliExpress, CJ Dropshipping. You can uniquely mimic ideas that are all over Etsy and viral on TV with print on demand items. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff. Just watch TV, because what's on TV right now is what people want. They're being programmed to want it. All you gotta do is slide in front of the traffic in the church. Okay. That's it for tonight. I hope that y'all enjoyed the training. I love you all. I wish you a ton of success. Be here next week, same place, same time. I know that this week's training was a bit more frank, but I hope that you can appreciate that. Number one question I've gotten is, why don't I have a beautiful website? Why shouldn't it be gorgeous? Why shouldn't I spend more time? What web designers? All this waste of time. So this week I'm like, yo, this is the real deal. And this is what you better have come Q4 holiday season. That way you can split test, you can advertise a bunch of different things, and you're focused on the products that people want and not the things that don't produce any revenue for you. Okay. So be here next week, same place, same time on the Profit Power Hour. I can't wait to see you. We got some really epic stuff to talk about in the affiliate marketing side of my business. As of this week, we covered a bunch of e-com stuff. So hope you enjoyed the training. Hope you have a phenomenal week. I'll see you in the group, in the Profit Power Hour group. Make sure you join it. And I'll see you next week for your next free training.